What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 343 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, and of course, viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. It's KB and Deej coming at you with another really nothing going on week of lacrosse action across the board. We're going to recap the World Box Lacrosse Championships and then deliver Volume 2 of our Fictional Lacrosse Rosters. And this week we are heading over to Nickelodeon. They need to bring that jingle back, bro.
You know they not. I'm pretty sure that's
they never will.
Pretty sure that's tied to Homeboy that we not gonna say his name.
Whoa.
All I'm saying.
That was on before he was around.
Fair. I think it was.
Because that was like Nicktoons. Like,
you got to remember, I'm on the young side.
That's true. You weren't around that 98 to 02 where it's like cognizant in your brain and it's like on before every. That was like the thing that played before every show, and they had a different animation for it. They need to bring that back. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us at OTB LaxPod across the board, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, YouTube is youtube.com/@OTB LaxPod. Subscribe over there. We're working on getting all of our interviews from the season and since up on that channel as well, so you can just watch the interviews by themselves if you so choose to. Follow Deej on Twitter at SCS_NextGreat. Follow Chase at the PLL Pipeline and follow Hoots at Hoot Sports Media. You can also follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow, helps more people find OTB and all of Underground Sports Philadelphia's podcasts, including the potential up in the air, still working on details, the potential Survivor podcast that's coming to the network. We'll also get into DJ's current watch of Survivor because he's been live tweeting it like it's 2000, and it's been absolutely electric. Just seeing him react to everything that I reacted to when I was a wee 7-year-old. Yes, I was watching Richard and Rudy when I was 7.
You had no business doing that.
None. We'll get into some of that as well before we get into all the topics, but subscribe on Apple and Spotify, leave a 5-star review, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show every single week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. We're at 846 subscribers right now. Let's get to 900 before the end of the month. New month in the works here now. Welcome to October. And of course, once we get to 1,000, we're going plaque chasing. So youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Subscribe. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment with who you think should be on our fictional lacrosse rosters and which universe we should do next after we tackle Nickelodeon. And of course, guys, this show is presented by Shootout For Soldiers, and it's creeping up real quick. Everybody out west in Colorado, October 19th, the Vail 10th Mountain Lacrosse Shootout For Soldiers, big old jamboree out west is going down October 19th. It is going to be an absolutely electric time excuse me, out in Vail, Colorado at the it's actually in Eagle, Colorado, just outside of Vail. It's going to be so awesome. Registration ends October 19th at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern for anybody that's planning on flying out. Be sure to register. The link to register is in our bio. It is going to be just a spectacular event that I'm so excited for Shootout for Soldiers to be putting on, in collaboration with 10th Mountain Lacrosse, Shootout for Soldiers, and they're going out west for the first time all year. You know, they've been on the East Coast this whole summer swing, and it's going to be just an event that you won't want to miss out on. Let's put it that way. It's going to be something that if you miss out on it, like unfortunately DJ and I are going to have to because of work obligations, we're already regretting it, but they're going to be hosting 18 and over games. Plus, there's going to be a whole after party after the games and everything going down at 10th Mountain Whiskey at their distillery. So, click the link in the description. Get registered for the Vail, Colorado event for Shootout for Soldiers. And also visit Shootout for Soldiers website to see how you can donate, get involved with Shootout for Soldiers. Wall Ball for Warfighters coming up next month in November is also available to see the details on their website for as well. Shootout for Soldiers is the best. Big thank you to Eric and Alexis for just doing what they do and having us involved in so much this year with Shootout for Soldiers. And big thank you to Shootout for Soldiers for being the presenting sponsor of the Outside the Box podcast. The Each of the World Box Lacrosse Championships have come to a close. And just like Dennis Green said, we are who they thought they were. But we did have a little shakeup in the men's side of things. But let's start with the ladies. As the inaugural women's side of the WBLC went down, and Team USA walks away with the first gold medal hardware on the women's side. And that's pretty cool to say, hey, we're part of the first ever iteration of this for the women's game, and we walk away with the gold medal as Team USA is pretty special. And those ladies balled out the entire tournament. Pretty cool to see Team USA walk away victorious and on top of the podium there, taking home gold.
Yeah, I mean, especially because when you look at how long American women have been playing box lacrosse, it's not that long. And then you look at box lacrosse, it is different than traditional field women's lacrosse. They have pads. They get to hit each other. They're using quote unquote guys sticks with pockets. So there's a lot more finesse that they're able to get away with because let's be honest here. I say it all the time. If we gave women pads and men's sticks, they would be the best players in the world because the freakishly athletic and insanely finesse things they're able to do with a women's stick pales in comparison to what they would be able to do with a men's stick. And we saw that through this entire tournament, not just from the American women, but from the Canadian women, the Haudenosaunee and Chinese Taipei and everyone else who played in this women's box lacrosse championship. They showed that they have the talent to compete with the best of them out there. And it was absolutely phenomenal to see them just go at it every single day, be aggressive, be strong. I mean, Charlotte North got bodied about 1,000 times, but like she got back up every single time. And then she went and made a play afterward. That is what lacrosse is all about. It was exciting to see them out there and playing and proving that women are not soft. I'm tired of this protecting women in sports. There's no reason for them to tee off in golf from a shorter tee box. That's stupid. There's no reason for them not to be able to check each other in hockey. That's stupid. No reason for them not to be able to hit each other and stick check and have contact in lacrosse. These things are stupid. And those are just a few examples of times that we are protecting women in sports from each other. They're not going against anybody that doesn't have the same capabilities as them. Quit limiting women's sports and allow them to be great because they are. Some of the best athletes in the world are women. And we restrict that and their ability to be as great as they are when that's the case. And it's very frustrating that that's the case, but it was exciting to see them get into the box world and be able to showcase those abilities. And I mean, literally there wasn't a game on the women's side that wasn't exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Chase and I told you from Champ Series that Unleash Women's All-Star Game 6s was one of the best lacrosse games he and I have ever watched, just from an entertainment value standpoint, from the back and forth of it. And it was like, damn, like we both wished, and everyone on that sideline wished that like that was kind of the style for the women's game moving forward. And I think this was such a fun glimpse into what the women's game can evolve into. And Team USA walking out victorious just shows you the investment that USA Box Lacrosse has right now in its athletes, both on the men's and women's side. So kudos to Team USA. And I've also been in talks with some peeps to potentially get Team USA's goalie on the show.
Okay. I would love that.
We have been told there are some connections with some people that are in the know, that we could potentially have their goalie. I want to pull up who it is for the people right here. It is. We'll figure it out. If I get the page to load eventually. But yeah, shout out to Team USA. They absolutely rocked it. And then on the men's side of things, Team Canada, I mean, what do you expect when your top dogs are Josh Byrne, Dane Smith, Jeff Teat? Like, it's not fair. It's human cheat codes. But Team USA played valiantly the entire tournament and gets to their first gold medal game, and wins the silver. And we're also talking about, we talked about it last summer when Brennan O'Neill was playing with Team USA as a junior in college. We're talking about Joey Spallina and CJ Kurse playing on this team. And Joey Spallina obviously was all the rage, and CJ was great as well. We're talking about two college players playing with a team full of pros on this Team USA roster. And obviously Joey's been playing up in Canada. I don't know if CJ has or not.
Not that I know of,
So
but
obviously,
I certainly wouldn't be surprised.
yeah. So obviously Joey's had like that experience factor playing with the Northmen and everything, but that just shows you the investment again that Team USA Lacrosse has in the box side of things, and the future talent that's also in the pipeline that you're getting a glimpse of, that's going to be tearing up this sport for decades to come. And I mean, you look at this Team USA roster, you didn't know what to expect coming into it. And a lot of talk was around the goalies, obviously, because both the Haudenosaunee and Team Canada roster goalies are future first ballot Hall of Famers across the board. And Team USA played sensationally. And I mean, shout out to my guy, because that is my guy, Goa Abrams. Absolute nails. I was covering Goa Abrams year one of covering the Wings. He was on the roster, was one of our goalies in Philly. And I was like, if he gets a shot to like really be a team's goalie, like he can do some fun things and really be an asset to a team. When you go step for step, move for move with Lyle Thompson the way that he did, like hang that photo in the Louvre, bro. That was unbelievable. And like I'm just like, and I love Lyle. But like no, having gotten to know Goa early on and like how awesome of a dude he, I was like, that I was like that's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT. Like I was just so happy for Goat because he works so hard and he's such an underrated goalie in the box game, in my opinion. Like he doesn't get a lot of talk that some of the other big time goalies get, and to see him perform on the world stage like that against arguably the best player on the planet, it was awesome to watch, and for him to have that moment with Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great tournament. I think that was kind of the one question mark that a lot of people had about Team USA going into the tournament. Like everybody knows the best box goalies are coming out of Orangeville, Canada. And like Canada has all the really good box goalies, but like who was going to step up in that stance point And Abrams was absolutely fantastic. That was probably one of the best saves we'll ever see in a box game. The simple fact that it literally hit a, a finger. That's that. You can't get a tighter save than that. Like, if his finger is over a centimeter, that goes in, and we're talking about possibly a completely different scenario than what we're talking about at the current moment. He stepped up to the plate and showed why he not only made this team and was the starter, but put stock into himself moving forward in terms of teams possibly looking at him for a trade or to sign him in free agency, or for his current team to just lock him down and go, this is our guy. He was on the biggest stage of box lacrosse and absolutely shined in that moment. I think that's huge. And I think it's huge for the progression of USA Box. I think like this championship is huge for United States box lacrosse in terms of this team and their progression. Obviously, you had the young guys, you had the veterans, but like there were individual guys who popped up, but also just making it to the championship game and losing by 5 to Canada shows this team is ready to start making those leaps. And I think that's the most exciting part. But when you got a guy like Abrams in between the pipes, it makes it just a little bit easier to get back into those positions.
Yeah, and I do want to mention too, I did finally get the roster up. It's Ingrid Boyum that we may have a connect with for the women's team. Went to Navy, graduated in 2018, so stay tuned. But yeah, I mean, you look at the Team USA roster too. Like, obviously, Team Canada is loaded. The Haudenosaunee are loaded, but like, I feel like a lot of people, not that they slept on the men's roster for Team USA, but like, it was one of those things. It's like, all right, there's a lot of guys on here who may not be playing in the NLL on a full send basis, and we're going to see what they do, and we're going to see guys that don't traditionally play with each other all the time. I don't know how many couplings of teammates there were in total for Team USA, but I do want to see here what the overall roster looked like, because like, you know, you had Blaze and Joe Resiteritz, you had, it was almost like duos from each NLL team for the pro level of things on Team USA, but it wasn't like, you know, groupings of guys that have full send experience playing with each other. And I thought for the most part, like, the team played very well together as a team. Like, you can see teams and like these super teams and on the world stage of any sport kind of come together, and it'd be difficult to kind of get going at first. But I feel like for the most part throughout this tournament, Team USA played like a well-oiled machine through and through, and it looked like these guys had playing experience together as a team more than just this tournament, which was really awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I was saying last week, more American players playing box is only good for the game. Like, it's just more time they're playing the game, more time that these games are in front of people, more time that is spent in lacrosse. If you're able to make lacrosse year round, people are loving it. You know, you look at basketball for kids, you know, and like coming up and even in college, you play your season and then you play travel ball, and then you know you have camp and all these. So it's a constant thing. Lacrosse is becoming that. You have fall ball, you have winter box, you have high school spring, you have club ball in the summer, and then you start to progress through college and pro, and it's the same thing. You get fall ball, you get to have your winter off for the most part as a college kid, and then you have spring ball, and then you can go play summer box, or you can go coach a summer to keep a stick in your hand as far as travel. Like, you're around it 100% of the time. Then you get to the pros, you got tons of options. You want to play summer box? Go ahead and do it. You want to play PLL? Go ahead. NLL is definitely there. Then you got sixes. You got World Field. You have World Box. It is constantly in front of us. And that is the part that's exciting about this. There are more Americans getting into every part of lacrosse. So to see them play that way, I think it draws in more fans, because now fans are like, oh, we're not losing to Haudenosaunee in Canada every time. It's not just them in the championship. We have a chance to win a gold medal. We have a chance to be at the top of the world, like we do in field, like we do in sixes, like we do with the women's game and this and that. At the end of the day, in the world championships, you want your country to do well, and that's going to bring in more fans, more people, and more engagement. United States is starting to hit that stride with box, where they're catching up in terms of skill and the interest is following right behind it.
6 friends of the pod, silver medalist with Team USA. Ryan Tarafanko, shout out. Blaze Reardon, Joe Restaterets, Mac O'Keefe, Joe Nardella, our guy. Big Joe Nardella podcast here. And Eli Gobrecht, who was a late addition to the roster, and I thought he had a fantastic tournament. Goes to show you, Eli can ball.
He did feel slighted.
He did feel slighted.
He did feel slighted. So like I almost expected him when he got the call to have a great tournament, because you got to prove your point. If you're going to go out on Twitter and say, I should have been on the roster, not exactly what he said, but basically he's like, dude, y'all dropped the ball and not throwing me there. And then he gets the bone. You got to make it stick. And he absolutely did, and made a case for himself. And he's a guy that really, if you look at what he does in both the field and box game, there isn't a USA roster he shouldn't be on.
Mm-hmm.
Sixes, field, box, PLO, NLO. When it comes to lacrosse, Eli Gobrecht is a guy who should be playing, and he proved that during this tournament. Joey Spallina and CJ Kurse proved that the younger kids are coming, and they're just as good as what you guys have in Canada. They're just as good as what you have in Haudenosaunee, if not better, and they're going to push the bill and force you to really bring out your best if you're going to keep beating America. And I think that's exciting. But at the end of the day, Canada's reigning supreme. Until you got somebody out there that can stop Jeff Teat and Dane Smith
and Josh Byrne.
I say Josh had to me, he had an okay tournament, but like that's all he has to do,
right?
When he has Dane Smith and Jeff Teat right there. And then those are just 3 people we named. We didn't put out Shane Jackson or many of the other people who were on that Canada box team.
Yeah. I do want to give flowers because I think he had a great tournament for Team USA. And I think it's going to translate to him having a dynamic NLL season. Connor Kurse was a dog, bro. A dog. And like all PLL season, whenever we had a Cannons press conference, I tried to pick Brian Holman's brain about Connor Kurse and, you know, him obviously trading for him prior to this past season. And it's just like awesome to watch somebody of Connor's talent level finally like getting that spotlight. And you know, we don't use underrated as much as some people. We typically use undervalued or underappreciated on this show. I think Connor Kurse, for the most part, has been both of those. He's kind of been undervalued. He's been underappreciated. And I think this past summer playing with the Cannons and this World Box Lacrosse Championship has really put a shine on his game and how versatile he is and what he can do with a stick in his hands, what he can do just on the field, on the floor. He's turning into one of my favorite players, and it also is really cool that he's a New Jersey kid.
I mean, yeah, I know how you feel about the New Jersey guys. I just like the Kurse guys. Like the Kurse guys are some of the best players, but also great people. He deserved to have such a great tournament, and I think it's just more along the lines of how they play as a family. They're genuinely guys who just enjoy playing lacrosse and love having the game of lacrosse in front of them. And whatever opportunity they get, they look to seize it. And he also could have not played a single second and would have had, he would tell you he would have had just as good of a time if he didn't play a single second. Just being around the game and experience that is what it's all about. And then when you do get the opportunity to be out the floor, they make it stand. And he was one of those guys that like, he didn't do what you expected him to do. Like he wasn't the guy out there scoring a bunch of goals or having all these turnovers. Like he just made hustle plays and made a play when they really needed it to happen, or kind of was just an energy guy. And oftentimes those people are overlooked.
Yeah, 100%. So shout out to Connor Kurse. Shout out to Matty Nest and the Curse of the Week bit that he does. But yeah, Team Canada reigns supreme, and you know, gold is shining up north yet again. And I mean, that team is just, that's a super team. That is a super team through and through. Like, I don't even know when it will happen, if it will ever happen, but like, it's cool to see Team USA inching closer. But man, that Canada pipeline and that Team Canada roster is just unbelievable. they're next level.
I mean, is there anything to say other than they're good at lacrosse? Like, I think most people expected them to win this tournament. I think they probably expected the championship game to be a little more out of hand than it was, but that's credit to America and how well they played. But realistically, until somebody, like I said, until somebody can stop the two main forces of their offense, they're gonna have a very tough time beating them. And then the same point, you got to go score on one of three of the best goalies in the world in the box game. So not only do you got to put out a bunch of energy to stop these dudes, you got to figure out how you're gonna magically put the ball in the back of the net because it literally takes magic. I swear it does. The simple things don't work. It is literal magic.
It's wild. So shout out to Team USA women's roster, and shout out to Team Canada men's for taking home the gold, and obviously shout out to Team USA men's for kind of stalling the norm, and they got through. They broke through the gold medal game, and I think that's just a confidence boost for Team USA as a whole to be like, hey, we have what it takes. We have the talent to get to that next level. Now it's obviously inching forward and coming out on top with a gold medal at some point, but really cool to see them break through and kind of shuffle the power rankings a little bit, if you will, when it comes to the World Box Lacrosse Championships. And shout out to everybody involved who made it an awesome tournament. And it's one step closer to the NLL season. But Deej, let's hone in. Last week we pitched Buffs and Snuffs to our guy Colin Squires, to which he responded, "Get to watching." Since then, you have gotten to watching.
Yes.
Are you still on season 1? Before I ask any further questions,
I am right in the merger. Like,
okay,
I'm in the middle of merger season or merger episode right now,
which is always an electric time in
hey,
Survivor history.
I haven't had a chance to say anything about it because I just saw it, but the Tagi tribe came over. It was like, hey, they suck. They living in hell, basically. I was like, oh my God.
Everybody drop your buffs.
They were like, we ain't doing, they was like, they ain't doing nothing over there. Like, is they even living? I was like,
you texted me, I'm mad that you didn't get me watching Survivor 3 years ago because this shit is lit. I mean, I tried to tell you it's one of my favorite shows, but I'm glad you're watching. It is hilarious watching you live tweet a show that came out in the year 2000, 24 years later, nearly a quarter century later, like it's happening in real time.
that's my superpower.
And
Is live tweeting things that are old. Because this is just like me missing games because I was coaching over the weekend, and I'm Tuesday at noon. I'm watching the game at work in live tweeting, and people are like, "You good, bro?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just missed the game." So I'm watching it right
He's
now.
got the meanest lag of all time. But it is funny watching you describe characters and everything and how they're going to be, and me just sitting there. I feel like the big dogs in Squid Game up watching everyone competing, and I'm like, he has no idea what's in store.
I don't.
So you're at about the merge is typically like the halfway point of every Survivor season. Who are you enjoying? Who can you not stand? And where do you think things are going to go in season 1 of Survivor that came out, mind you, everybody, in May of 2000?
My boy Jarvis.
Philly guy.
No way. He's from Philly?
From Philly, bro.
That is hilarious.
Jarvis is electric. He's like a car salesman in Philly.
I like Jarvis. He's hilarious to me. Ironically, I like Susan. Do I think she's a bitch? Yes, but she's a funny bitch. That tweet I put out yesterday where she's like, "Hey, Jarvis is a perv. And homegirl is gonna be annoying." She's like, "They gotta go right now." I was like, "Yo, Susan's hilarious." But I absolutely dislike Kelly, and she called Greg psychotic, and I kind of agree with her. Greg is a little off the edge.
Which Kelly was there's so many Kellys that have come through that I'm like trying to remember which Kelly is which.
I feel like there might be a Kelly on every episode because that's such a basic white girl name.
Wigglesworth.
That's what you call her, Wigglesworth?
That's her last name.
That is hilarious. That reminds me of Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yes.
Oh man,
that's
that
OG
is
Kelly.
so funny. But
okay.
I can't stand her. She annoys me, and I do kind of think Greg is psychotic. I can't stand Rudy either because like he just traditional hoorah. I don't like nothing or nobody.
Rudy was 72 years old and he was playing.
He was so bitter and just like stubborn. Like literally, you could see it like permeating from his body.
Rudy would never be allowed on television in 2024
ever,
which is hilarious.
And if he did make it, he would be booted off episode 1. See ya, buddy. And I will say, probably the funniest thing I've seen so far was episode 1, where homegirl tripped and fell, and they were dragging her, and they were like, "Yeah, you obviously ain't gonna make it, so we just gonna vote you off right now."
Imagine being not even realizing at the time how long Survivor was going to run, but imagine being now and Survivor being this like cultural phenomenon that has been going on for now. It's in its 47th season. Imagine being like, yeah, I was the first person ever voted out of Survivor.
That's actually like a badge of honor,
right?
I'm the very first person who didn't make it back from tribal council.
I'm the very first one that the tribe spoke for.
And they told me, get the fuck on. Oh, like, dude, I am so locked into this show. Like, I often spend a lot of time at work. I'm a radio guy, so there's a bunch of downtime, ironically. Normally on YouTube or like watching some game on ESPN that's on in the middle of the day. Now it's Survivor. If you guys haven't noticed by my tweets and timestamps that are coming out at 1:24 on a random Wednesday afternoon talking about Survivor, it's because that's all I'm doing at work is watching Survivor at the moment. And it is, if you've never seen Survivor, get into it. It's binge worthy. It has, check this, 47 seasons now. We are in season 47. So you have a plethora of time to watch, and you'll never run out because they're still making episodes for the time being. And it's going to be arguably one of the greatest TV shows you've ever seen.
They've already announced that season 50 is going to be the next All-Star season.
Oh, yes. I have to.
So
when are we going to put in our apps? Never.
TBD.
Like I'm bro, did you see my tweets about the rats?
No.
They were eating rats.
Oh yeah. It gets crazy out there. Now it's not as like in the newer seasons, it's not that primal, but yeah,
and I mean
them OG seasons, they were fiending.
That boy Jervis said, "We need to go catch some more rats tonight." I said, he did not just say that. Like, it ain't no way he's sitting here eating this like it's some chicken. Like, the rat can't taste that good. It can't. And then they were mad when they caught the eel and wasn't really no meat on it. They were like, hey, this gonna be some good meat. And they chopped it up. And it was about this much. They were not happy.
Yeah, Jervis, he grew up in Willingboro Township, like in South Jersey, and went to Holy Cross Academy, and he lives in Cinnaminson, like 40 minutes from me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So next time I'm out there, we pulling up on Jervis.
Oh,
what up, no, bro? That's season 1 of Survivor. I mean, he got to be about 40 some now.
He is 54. He was 30 when he was on season 1.
And he looks so young.
He was my age.
Like he literally looks my age or younger. Like wow. I love Survivor. This is so great.
Yeah, I think so great. Kelly was the youngest on that season. She was 22 at the time.
Oh, yeah, I know. She was a student and was acting like one.
So you had
Acting like
22 to
one.
72 was the age range.
I remember I was watching and I looked over at my mom. I was like, "You think they be smashing?" And then, like, the next episode, she was like, "Yeah, when we be sneaking away, it's all about sex." And I was like, "There it is.
Oh,
There it is."
just you wait. Just you wait. There's a survivor power couple that was born during one of the seasons.
Okay.
Like royal family of Survivor.
So what I'm hearing is I need to go on Survivor to find my wife.
Anywho, who's your prediction for who do you think's gonna win? Because for everybody listening and watching, he has no clue about any of this.
I'm not gonna cap. I think Susan. I like the way she's playing the game. Like she don't take no shots at nobody. She don't really except Sean. She thinks Sean lazy. And I'm kind of with her because how you a doctor and don't know how to do nothing, bro? You don't know how to do nothing. What? Huh?
I'll tell you this much. I'm not gonna tell you who wins. I'm gonna tell you who's in the final. Susan does have one of the most iconic moments in Survivor history.
Love that.
Like, still gets talked about to this day as probably a top 5, probably top 3 moment in the show's history. And it's unbelievable. And I might need to be on a call with you as you're watching it go down because I'll need to see your reaction in live time because it is that jarring of a moment.
More jarring than
Richard running around naked.
Dog. They're so mad about it. They're like, he's always naked. Bro said, I'm naked like 1% of the time. Not a big deal. Either that or it was episode like 2 and Rudy's like, I think he was going to tell me he's queer. And then Richard's like, I think I should tell him I'm gay. And then they start talking. He's like, I'm really good friends with Richard. Like, not in a gay way, but we're really good friends. I don't know how my boys back home will feel about that, but I'll deal with it. Like,
Rudy was like in the Navy. Yeah, Rudy was a Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL. And it was so funny when the because the last episode was when the Green Berets pulled up. And he like gave him the stank eye and shit. I'm like, yeah, that checks. That checks. SEALs and Green Berets are not friends.
Oh, it's so good, man. It's so good. But yeah, we'll have check-ins and we'll keep you guys updated on the status of buffs and snuffs and where we're gonna take it and when it hopefully gets up off the ground and everything and how we're gonna approach it. But sounds like Colin's in. I'd say Colin's like, what would you say at this moment in time with just no framework, like 65% in?
He told me to start watching. That sounds like above 50%, possibly even above 70% in. So he seems locked.
And I texted Casey about it. She was like, "Oh, that would be amazing." So,
and you know the boy Joey Keys couldn't wait to say something.
Oh yeah, he dropped that island emoji real quick. And shout out to Emma. Emma said she would listen, so we got a fan base already.
We know it's popping.
And you do know that they do Fantasy Survivor. There's a Fantasy Survivor game.
Really?
Yeah. I did it for a couple seasons, but I kind of fell off with just scheduling and being able to like watch in real time and feel good, like filling it out so I wouldn't get spoiled.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I got to cut off the Fantasy Survivor aspect for me right now. But yeah, there's a Fantasy Survivor.
So now I need to see Funko Pop. Do they have a Jeff Probst?
They need it. Jeff Probst is the GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
When they were at that one tribal council and it was raining, and he was like, "Hey, y'all can stay here." I was like, just tell them they can. Any other host would have been like, "See ya, get this step in." He was like, "Stay dry."
Jeff Probst made a cameo on 2.5 Men.
I think I heard something about that
back in the day. He made a cameo.
So now I'm gonna have to go watch that episode of 2.5 Men.
It had nothing to do with Survivor, I don't think.
It don't matter.
I remember, but it was like when the door opened and Jeff is just there shirtless. It was like, "Hello." It was hilarious.
Survivor, is that you?
I was like, Jeff. But yeah, that is the the current status of Deej's Survivor binge going on. Follow Buffs and Stuffs on Instagram and Twitter. But Deej, let's move on to our fictional lacrosse rosters, and it's brought to you by the PLL app, which is back up and running now that the PLL Dark Week is over. With new and integrated content, there's a bunch of new polls and things for you to fill out as well to earn XP in the app. A bunch of new articles coming out. I know our guy Hayden just dropped an article about the chaos and the state of their roster and everything. Definitely check that out. Whole bunch of stuff coming out now on the PLL app, and it is truly the one-stop source for everything you need when covering the league. And you can get some free XP from your boys. Download the PLL app and go to the redeem code section and use code OTBPOD. That's OTB Pod for 500 XP on your account. Download the PLL app, App Store, Google Play Store, or go to PLL.app. Go to the redeem code section, use code OTBPOD for 500 XP on your account. And before we get into the fictional lacrosse rosters, bringing up the chaos, I do want to send our condolences and best wishes to everybody in the Carolinas that have been affected by the hurricane. That shit is crazy. Hopefully, if you or someone you know is affected, you find the proper resources. We'll try to post some out there for people to get involved with. I know Barstool's doing a really cool fundraiser with a shirt that they put out that 100% of the proceeds are going to the relief fund. There's a whole bunch out there, but want to send our best wishes to everybody that has been affected by the hurricane in the Carolinas, because that shit was insane to just see all the footage and everything that's been coming out from there. So our best wishes to everybody in the Carolinas.
Yeah, that's just a very unfortunate situation. Hoping that we start to get some relief down there. I know tons of people have been helping and putting stuff together. There's some stuff going on here in Kalamazoo and like the Southwest Michigan area. Excuse me, that they're putting together some care packages and stuff from the resources we have here. So I know kind of my area. I'm happy to say that like my job and my area have done something to help toward that and are doing what we can from all the way up here. But my message is to all those people: keep praying, stay on, the positive side of faith. You only need a mustard seed amount, and great things will happen. So stay on the positive side of the situation and start to put a little bit more pressure on your governors. Once they really reach out and start asking for that relief funding, things should start to come through and a lot more help should come. So definitely in my prayers and everyone in this area, and we're doing what we can up here to help, but just try and stay positive and definitely want to give condolences to those who have already lost family members and friends and such.
So let's get into it, Deej. Your brainchild is back for Volume 2, and we're doing Nickelodeon this week because we had our guy Phil Shore check in, and he had a whole article come out about Disney characters. So we're going to try to work to get Phil on the show next week to have him join us for Disney. But we're going to go in with Nickelodeon, which is a wildly diverse and vast universe of characters, creatures, and voice actors of the like. If you missed last week's episode, we did Cartoon Network, and we filled out a PLL-style game day roster of 21 plus coaches and refs and officials and everything like that. So, Deej, Nickelodeon, where's your brain going as we sit here before we start breaking down the roster? When it comes to Nickelodeon, how diverse Nickelodeon is over the years, from the 90s to the 2000s to, potentially the live action side of Nickelodeon stuff. Where's your brain sitting as we get ready to dive into Nickelodeon?
That's the problem. It's everywhere. Like Nickelodeon's very similar to Disney in terms of like there are so many like real shows like iCarly and like True Jackson VP, and then there's also the animated side, but then there's also like, do I want to like go with an animated character but not the animated character because I would like to use the person that voices them instead of the actual character? Nickelodeon is endless in terms of possibilities, but this one should be very, very fun to put together.
So what positional group do we want to start with?
That's what I was going to ask you because yeesh. We started with mids last time. Do we want to start attack?
We can.
Okay.
I have one.
Go for it.
It's Auto Rocket.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he is your stereotypical attackman, extreme sports aficionado. He's bound to be good at lacrosse, and why not stick him at attack?
I am going to go Timmy Turner because the most magical players on the field
He gonna hit you with a burner.
Are in fact worm burners from Timmy Turner. I'm here for it. All the magic happens on the offensive end. We know this. So of course, with him having Barry, odd parents, we need that on the attack side. I'm here for Timmy Turner.
Nah, you know who else is gonna be on the attack line? This is gonna be a nasty attack line. Auto Rocket, Timmy Turner. It's gonna be Gerald from Hey Arnold.
I'm here for Gerald. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to put him because I was trying to decide if I liked him at mid or attack, but I like Gerald at attack. That's fine.
I do have one of our midfielders off rip too, because he is the perfect, like, tall. He reminds me like Xander Dixon vibes of like that tall, skinny, but like insane talent on the midfield. It's Skeeter from Doug.
So are you leaving him at midfield or you want to put him at reserve attack? Because then
He's gonna go somewhere. Skeeter's got to be on the roster.
Yeah, because I mean that just will decide what I say next.
Yeah,
where you
we'll
put him.
We'll have him written down and then we'll figure out where to.
Okay, if we're gonna talk mid here real quick, can I get Sheen from Jimmy Neutron? I like Sheen. He's got that energy to just run back and forth.
Ultra Lord. Yeah, that's a good one. I am going to. I'm torn here.
Oh, I have a great defender / short sticky mid in my head right now. I'm gonna keep that bookmarked.
Midfield. Nah, I got one. Sid from Hey Arnold, the kid that wore the backwards hat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched this one because it did come out a little bit later, and I only watched a few episodes of this one. But Sanjay from Sanjay and Craig.
Oh yeah, that was like right on the cusp of.
That was like right when I really started to watch sports, so I stopped watching as many cartoons, but I caught just enough of that.
Yeah.
To go, why is this little weird kid hanging out with a snake all day?
Yeah.
And I think we need one more midfielder.
We need
two
more, but we have Skeeter written down as either a midfielder or reserve attackman.
What was his name? Tommy? Was that the head Rugrat? Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy Pickles.
His last name is Pickles.
Yeah, because his brother's name was Dill. It was Dill Pickles.
I like Tommy Pickles.
Are we going baby Tommy or are we going all grown up Tommy?
Ooh.
I'm kind of leaning baby Tommy because then
Me
his
too.
stick, the shaft is going to be that screwdriver.
And he was diabolical as a baby.
He's so smart too.
So smart.
He's in the words of Joe Keegan, Tommy Pickles is Shriberian.
Imagine him out there with that screwdriver throwing sideways passes.
Oh, I got the last one. So Skeeter's gonna go reserve attack. Midfield, Danny Phantom.
I was looking at Danny and I didn't know where I wanted to put him. I didn't know if I wanted to slide him somewhere sneaky.
Because he's versatile, he can go ghost. Danny Phantom's midfield.
I only didn't say him because I was possibly thinking LSM, but I think there's some other things we can go LSM that could help.
Yeah. So
He was
Skeeter
definitely
falls in line at the reserve attackman for sure.
okay.
I have a short stick D mid. You said you had a short stick D mid?
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely.
who's yours?
I don't know if we want to put him at short stick D mid or pole, LSM, whatever. I think I like him at LSM.
Okay.
Swiper. From Dora. Swiper the Fox.
He's going Nick Jr. Okay.
Swiper no swiping because that man Joe could take something from you.
Okay. So at LSM, Swiper the Fox.
We do still need another LSM. Swiper would probably be the backup, TBH. But you need a 1-2 punch at LSM. So
well, if you need a 1-2 punch at LSM, who better than Cat Dog? That's a literal 1-2 punch.
I was gonna put Cat Dog at face off. He got both sides running. He can bark at you while being feisty with the cat.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I'll put Cat Dog at face off. I mean, I have our brick wall defenseman.
Okay.
It's Larry the Lobster.
Yeah, Larry definitely got to get up there. Who else do we like at short stick D mid?
I got one. Invader Zim.
Okay.
Zim is definitely, he got short stick D midi energy.
He does.
Twister from Rocket Power.
We need one more. I think.
Well, I know we got at least one goalie. It's got to be the Squid.
I like the Squid
from Rocket Power.
Backup goalie, Oswald
from Nick Jr.
Yeah, because that boy's about bigger than I don't know what.
Yeah, I think the Squid can be the starter because he's an actual goalie.
Yeah, and then if he gets hurt, then we just put Oswald there, who literally covers the entire 6x6.
Which is also
they can't score.
Which is also hilarious because then we have an octopus and the Squid.
This is great. Defense. Patrick? Do we like Patrick at D? Or do we want to put one of the Ninja Turtles there?
I was also going to say last short stick D middy's got to be SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'm cool. I was talking like close D.
Oh no, I was just saying because SpongeBob got that jellyfish net. He out there,
yeah,
scooping up brown balls and actually running around. No thoughts, just vibes.
And I honestly feel like dudes like Zach Geddes and like and like Connor Marr are like out there like, I'm ready. Like that gives me the feeling that SpongeBob has short stick demon energy.
You know who would also be a good LSM, maybe defenseman, maybe one of the Angry Beavers.
I forgot about the Angry Beavers. Look at you pulling one out. Whoa.
Like Daggett and Norbert are like lacrosse guys. And you know they're playing with wooden sticks.
Oh yeah, no question. No question. That it's gonna hurt when they check you. That's gonna hurt.
So wait, here, actually, because he wants to take over the world, I'm gonna put Zim as one of the rules officials.
Okay.
And we're gonna put I think Daggett is a short stick D-Biddy.
I can see that. I'm definitely adding Squidward to the officials list. Can Tim Allen be the head coach?
Huh?
Home Improvement.
Oh man, wait.
Or do we have to say Mr. Miyagi? Master Splinter.
Is Twister more of an LSM or is he a short stick D-Midi? Because I have another short stick D-Midi.
I could argue that Twister could be an LSM. You got to have some crackhead energy to constantly run. Like all LSMs really do is run. You run and possibly play some offense. You run off the field. You run back on and play some defense, running around. Like
because tell me either Ickis or Oblina from Real Monsters are not a short stick deep.
Oh, we putting Ruby on the coaching staff from Max and Ruby. Her bossy ass. He always trying to tell somebody what to do.
Ruby and her little brother Max. So do we want to put Ickis or Oblina at short? I think Ickis is.
I like Ickis.
Big short stick D-Midi energy.
I like Ickis a lot.
All right, so we'll have Twister at LSM. We still need 2 defensemen.
Why are defensemen so hard for this? Vicky, no, or either her or she can go on the she can go on the referees too. She's so mean, but she would have been a great defender. Or Mr. Crocker.
That boy's getting deuced on. You breaking his ankles immediately with Timmy running.
I'm just trying to think of people who were like mean. Like that. That's the main thing I need out of my defenseman is I need you to have a mean side of you. It's funny trying to recall some of these shows.
Man Ray.
Oh, I forgot about Man Ray.
Is this your wallet? Yes.
And maybe one of the
you know who else would be a good defenseman? Cliff from the Greaser Dogs from Cat Dog.
You know what's funny is I guarantee there's a portion of our audience that has never seen some of these shows,
which is sad.
It is. It is sad.
Cliff is such an easy, like that's a nasty Larry the Lobster, Man Ray, and Cliff from Cat Dog.
I wouldn't want to go against that defense.
That's gnarly.
So are we adding another mid guy who could possibly be like a two-way guy, or are we going a fourth D for our last reserve spot?
Because last week we did a fourth short stick D midi.
I kind of like one of the Ninja Turtles because I also feel like they could be flexible. Like they could be like a Brian Tev, who we like move wherever we need, rather, or Ian McKay, like that guy that can do it all rather than just one side of the ball. But there's probably some other options for that too. There's Alvin.
Bro, you know who we're forgetting?
From Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'm sorry to Cliff. Helga Pataki's got to be on this roster.
Helga's
a menace.
Is she our extra reserve?
I think Cliff got to get moved to the reserve. Helga's a starter, bro.
That's fine by me. Yes. That's fine by me.
Helga Pataki is a menace.
Alvin.
All right. See if there's anybody else we may have flopped on.
Oh, I flopped by not wearing my Nickelodeon windbreaker today. Big flop.
Damn. I mean, does Rocco make the cut for Rocco's Modern Life?
Yes.
He's got to be in there somewhere.
Big Rocco fan.
I love Rocco. So we still need another assistant coach and a head coach. And we need a head referee or a rules official. Because we have two refs with Zim and Squidward.
Where are we putting Mr. Krabs?
He ain't getting nowhere close to that head coaching job, though, because we can't have a penny pinching GM on this, John. That's for damn show.
He said, we got to spend the bills. Oh, man. Oh, can the head rules guy be the host from the Legends of the Hidden Temple? Can he be our Seth Tierney?
What was his name?
Cristela Alonso. Oh, wait, no, that was on.
No, it's Kirk Fogg.
Yeah, I say that one was when they rebooted it on CW. Kirk Fogg. Man, I wish we would have done in-stadium announcers because that D Baker is the voice of the head thing, the stone head. That would be like perfect.
That and the we could for Nickelodeon, the fish.
Yeah, from SpongeBob.
Both the real fish looking one and the bro, you know who we threw on? Donnie Thornberry, bro.
Nickelodeon's hard.
Nickelodeon's tough. We might have a B roster for Nickelodeon.
We might have to double back and do this.
Man, Nickelodeon is deep. We might have to do a box lacrosse roster for Nickelodeon to offset how like Cartoon Network's got some bangers, but like they've got like classics. Nickelodeon has a roster that is just filled with classics.
Oh, we got to put Ace Ventura on the ref staff. He's literally a pet investigator.
Isn't that a movie though?
No, they had a TV show, I thought.
I thought that was just a movie with Jim Carrey.
I think they.
Oh no! You know who we got to put on the rules staff? Steve from Blue's Clues. That man's writing everything down.
Oh yeah, I'm down with Steve. But Steve, no, it is a movie that just got played a ton on Nickelodeon for whatever reason.
Steve's got to be the head ref because that boy writing everything down. He got all the clues.
I like Steve there.
Now we need a head coach and another assistant coach.
Master Splinter?
Nah, you know who's got to be an assistant coach, bro? Rudy from Chalk Zone. Rudy's got the chalk.
Chalk talk with Rudy.
Rudy's got the chalk.
Head coach is hard.
Oh, no, we're morons, bro. We're morons. I'm sorry. We can have an additional ref / rules of it. We're dumb. Jorgen von Strangle is the head rules official.
I forgot about Jordan von Strangle.
Dub rules, bro.
Literally. That was a dropped bag for a while.
People would have been crucifying us.
Oh, yeah. They would have been on one.
They'd have been like, these
and
idiots.
I wouldn't even been mad. I would not have been mad. Why is head coach so hard?
I mean, Arnold from Hey Arnold.
He was a leader. He wasn't dumb. He was not dumb.
I kind of like that.
I don't hate it. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything else that comes to mind as I scroll past some of these shows, but like, not really. I think I can rock with that.
So here's our preliminary Nickelodeon roster. Our attack group is Otto Rocket, Timmy Turner, and Gerald from Hey Arnold, and our reserve attackman is Skeeter from Doug. Our midfield is Sheen, Sid from Hey Arnold, Sanjay from Sanjay and Craig, and Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. Tommy Pickles, Danny Phantom. Our defense is Larry the Lobster, Man Ray, and Helga Pataki, and Cliff from Cat Dog, the head greaser dog, is our backup defenseman. Swiper the Fox and Twister from Rocket Power are our LSMs. Daggett from the Angry Beavers, Ickis from Avril Monsters, and SpongeBob are our short stick D middies. Cat Dog is our face-off athlete. Sam Dullard, aka the Squid from Rocket Power, is our starting goalie, and Oswald the Octopus is our backup goalie. Our coaching staff is Arnold from Hey Arnold, Ruby from Ruby and Max, and Rudy from Chalk Zone. And then our refs / rules officials, Jorgen von Strangle, Steve from Blue's Clues, Zim, Squidward, and Kirk Fogg.
Who's making better content than us?
And yet we still have plenty of room for like an additional Nickelodeon roster.
We may be back with another Nickelodeon
We might be
roster.
back with part 2 of Nickelodeon.
Because, man,
it's crazy.
There are so many more names that could be thrown out right now. Insanity.
Like Sandy Cheek's not on the roster right now.
And it would be funny to like put these together, like in like a bracket, and have people like vote on which team they think would win and crown an imaginary champion.
we'll have that ready for you in March.
Facts. It's gonna take some time. Don't be rushing for it.
But yeah, right now I feel all right. I mean, our attack and midfield group kind of nasty, bro.
Oh yeah, that's where this team is making the gold here. They're winning there.
I think the Nickelodeon attack group and midfield group is clearing Cartoon Network right now.
But I will say Cartoon Network's D and their coaching staff is legit. It would be a true chess match.
We might have the two best face-off athletes in the fictional universe is going head-to-head when these two teams play. Bugs Bunny versus Cat Dog.
That's just immaculate.
God damn.
Who would have thought that in anyone's universe that Bugs Bunny and Cat Dog would take a face-off against each other?
I mean, Johnny Test versus Otto Rocket for Attackman of the Year is going to go crazy.
I don't even know who I got my money on.
Ben 10 versus Danny Phantom. You want to talk about two people that are versatile and can transform for midfielder of the year? Hello,
man. Talk about a couple Zach Couriers out there.
Larry the Lobster versus Cyborg there for defenseman of the year.
Like, hello.
Don't sleep on Helga.
That's literally Garrett Apple versus Graham Hossick for defensive player of the year. And Helga's our sneaky little JT Giles Harris.
Like we can definitely do a round 2 of Nickelodeon potentially, because like we didn't even put like King Neptune on this.
Yeah, like there's so many pieces from Nickelodeon.
That's insane. So let us know who we may have forgotten and who we could include in Nickelodeon Volume 2, because we might be back with Nickelodeon Volume 2 next week. Disney is still on the table. The MCU is still on the table. The DC universe is still on the table. The live action stuff is still on the table.
Old school Warner Bros. On the table.
Yes. Kids WB is still on the table. Anime universe is still on the table. You know, that includes your Dragon Ball Z's, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, all that kind of stuff. Bro, you know who else we fumbled and didn't put on this roster that we absolutely have to do Nickelodeon Volume 2 for? Aang, The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah. We didn't bring anybody in from that Avatar world.
That's crazy. Like, we could do so many different ones. So leave your recommendations for universes and everything that you want us to touch to create fictional lacrosse rosters for. Leave that in the YouTube comment section, tweet it at us, DM us on Instagram. We will definitely take it into account. But next week might be Nickelodeon Volume 2. It could be Disney with Phil Shore. We'll see what his schedule is like. But that's going to be a ton of fun. This is so much fun to get our brains just riled up for NLL season.
I'm so excited for NLL season.
Oh, it's so good. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB LaxPod across the board. Follow DJ SCS_next Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple, Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. Helps more people find the show. And of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment with who you want to see on a fictional lacrosse roster, what universe you want us to tackle next. And of course, ring the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Be sure, if you're in the area, register for Shootout for Soldiers Vail, Colorado event on October 19th. Spaces are filling up. Make sure you're guaranteed to be in there. It's going down October 19th. It's going to be a ton of fun. Super excited to see all of the stuff coming out of Vail, Colorado on October 19th. Register. The link is in our description of the podcast. It's linked in our bio on social media. And check out Shootout for Soldiers website for more information as well. And this has been episode number 343 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned number 9 NCAA ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse pod on the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast network. For Deej, I'm KB. Enjoy your weekends, everybody. Deej and I are getting ready for big boy baseball.
Yes, sir.
If you don't hear from us, you know why. We're going clinically insane. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here. We're signing off. Peace.
Peace.